Good afternoon, everyone. This is Brad Matheny. Today is the 9th of April, and I'm coming to you with this kind of late update. First off, I wanted to talk about some things that people have been asking me about the market. And secondly, I want to show you some of the algos that we're running today. In fact, let me start off with the algos. I've talked to you guys before about my website. You come over here to mint.com. This is the website. I know it's not pretty. I'm not really into flashy stuff. I'm into just getting you the data that you need and learning how to trade more efficiently. And down here near the expert growth system, learn about expert growth or scroll down to this window where it teaches you what you get. There are a series of intraday algorithms running for members in expert growth called the TT scanner algos. Now, I'm going to show them to you because, today was a big day. And this is the 5 minute spider sector algos. And I want you to understand this is a very big day. We're talking about, profit percentages of 5.5%, 7%, 6.7%, 6.5%. These are huge numbers. I mean, absolutely huge. And one of the things that happens for my subscribers is they learn to rely on these algos. These algos run, every bar. This is a 5 minute chart, so it's every 5 minutes. It keeps track of itself, obviously, in real time. The data is presented to you cleanly here. What you're looking for is combinations. So because we've had that very deep rotation, you'll notice the daily triggers are pretty much all flat with some short triggers carrying on one day ago. And these are daily triggers. So again, a lot of people kind of ignore these. These are for swing trading. The 60-minute triggers pretty much all flat. We've got no triggers on the 60-minute, but look at the thrusting patterns. Thrusting is a short-term indicator indicating up and down strength. So UVXY is minus 105.80. XLRE is up 113.59. These are big numbers. Anything above 20 or 30 or 40 typically is a big number. And you can see the trending. So here's the rank, meaning we've got fours for the most part, -4 here. Fours are a pretty good positive number, but we're getting no triggers. We come down to the 15-minute, we start to get some triggers. And they're big and they're happening near the end of the day. So there were a couple of triggers here that finally generated a couple of them a little earlier, 8 bars into it at 13:45. Nothing super early, but then when we go down to the 5 minute or the 2 minute, these are the real short term triggers. And the shorter term triggers here, you can see this is near the end of the day, 1300, up 5.9%, huge, just huge moves. And again, they've been in trades for 29 bars, 29 bars, 29 bars, huge moves. And the 2 minute here, we've got a couple of trades here near the end of the day that were up just very short term, easy scalping trades. And again, you want to watch for these thrusting patterns to be essentially green and positive, or four, like right over here, 4, 5, 6, and a positive bull bear shift. That gives you a pretty good indication that you're getting a good trade. Notice these 2 minute charts don't have any real targets. You see here target 1 and target 2, whereas notice the 5 minute has a lot of the target 1 and target 2 levels already hit. This means that, this gives you very clear opportunities to get in and out of these trades quickly. When you get long, you hit target 1. If you have decent 10, 20, 30% profits in your options, you should at least book one contract. Okay, get to target 2. You still have more option contracts playing. You should at least try to book another one or two. You want to let the runners run a little bit, but remember, the idea about trading is to book profits. Now, what I want you to also understand is that we have the options levels algo. So we come down here to the 5 or the 15 minute, go to spiders, 5 or 15 minute, and you can see here that the way it works is you basically take a look at the ranking. Bullish, bullish, that's +1, +2, bullish, here, bullish here. That's +1, +2, +3, +4. That gives you a good solid ranking. A 4, all of them are bullish for the trend models, the anchor trend, the short-term trend, and the long-term trend. So at that point, you can come in here and you can start looking on XLF. Any price level above 70 or 47.27 roughly is going to have a strike price potential at 47.51 or 47.52, which would end up being 47.50. So you get yourself a scenario there where that's about a 30-cent move, 25-cent move in XLF on this 5-minute chart. That'll equate to about a 30, maybe a 35% trade on your options profit, maybe a bit more depending on what you've got. Now remember, we're 5-minute here. And again, look at these setups. I mean, generally everything except the VIX and XLP was bullish. All of this was bullish. No matter how you calculate it, I can tell you just looking at this, bullish, bullish, bullish all the way down. This one here is neutral, XLI. XLI was neutral. Why? Let's talk about that. Neutral trend is 0, bullish is +1, bearish is -1, and bearish is -1. So here's -2, +1 is -1, +0 is -1. This is a very mild, at the end of the day, neutral trend. That's what this is, a very mild downward neutral trend. We don't really want to take that. We're looking for trades, and again, this is at the end of the day, so not intraday. You want to look for things like this: bullish, bullish, bullish. Try it again. Bullish, 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 bullish. That means you just basically can look right over here, and you see that you've got basically a 70-cent range between the call level and the call strike. Now you pick your strike price, 139 even, 139.50, 140, but it's telling you you get above 138.50, you're going up to 139, 139.50, or maybe 130, 140. And the same thing with all of these. So when you're looking, now this is 5 minutes. So these swings are going to be, basically 10, 15, 20 minutes in length in general, basically within the 5-minute bar. So this is basically a 5-minute setup. These setups should happen technically within 5 or 10 minutes. And then you look for a new trigger. You move out to a 30-minute, and you're going to be looking at things that could last 30, 60, 120, maybe 180 minutes. Okay. And again, same setup: bullish, 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 bullish. You come in here and you're looking at 77.21 to 77.24. Very tight strike price, not even worth trading. Here you have the QQQ, bullish, 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 492.24 to 501.80. Here you go. Now you're talking a $9 potential target. This will be some good money if it sets up. And again, all of these sit over here and run. They completely run, efficiently and cleanly for you. And you can see here, even the TT scanner. These are what's called the ETFs. So there are really dozens of trade triggers out here for you that run through these algos. There's never a shortage of trades, guys, at mint.com. I mean, yeah, there's, like if I come over here and I look at the 60 minutes and I'm not getting any real clear direction, then I may want to curtail some of my trading. Or if I look over here at the spider algos, 60 minutes, and I'm getting flats, I may want to curtail my trading, especially if I'm getting no trending in thrusting. But if I'm getting decent trending in thrusting, then I'm going to come down here to 5-minute and I'm going to start looking around at the trades that are setting up, because this is going to give me a great opportunity for short-term swing trades. Okay, and like I said, some of my subscribers are making, I'll be honest with you. So, one guy sent me an image today. He's made 2,000% in the last 4 or 5 trading days since last week into this week. I mean, 2,000%, and he's a real short-term trader. I mean, he's in and out, in and out, in and out, faster than I can even get off the phone. But it's there. You can do it. You can make 200, 300, 400% a week if you just focus on these triggers and focus on the training that I teach you to be able to do this efficiently. Okay, so now enough with this. Remember, come to mint.com, check it out. It's cheap, it's inexpensive, and like I said, it's designed to help you make better trades. That's what it's all about. If you don't like it, you're not spending a fortune to get into my algos and access them. You'll get for example, pricing here, a 6 month trial is $169. Okay, a 60-day trial is 74.99. I mean, that's 35 bucks a month. 38 bucks a month. That's really not bad. And a 6 month trial breaks it down even further. It's a longer term trial. You pay a little more, but it's a better discount. And it gives you 6 months to learn. 6 months to try it, learn it, go through my training, follow my algos, learn with my Discord, which you see it messaging on down here. But anyway, it's worth every penny. If you're able to make two, three, 400, like I got a call yesterday from a client who said he was losing money, didn't know what was wrong, was losing money. He started following my stuff. He paid for a 60-day trial, and he called me out of the blue yesterday from Chicago, and he told me that I changed his life. I talked to him for about 30, 40 minutes. Nice guy. And he finally came to me and goes, "You don't know. You've actually changed my life." And I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I hope for the better." And he said that he had made 10 days in a row of winning trades. He says, "I've never made 10 days in a row of winning trades. Every day is a winner. Every day I'm making money." And he said that he had made back in the 10 days every penny that he had lost over the past 6 months and more, and that he couldn't be happier and he wanted to extend his subscription. So I told him he didn't need to worry about anything. He's on a regular payment plan and he's good to go. So anyway, long and short of it, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to help you guys. It's all about you finding success and making money. And then from there, I want you to keep doing it with or without me. It doesn't matter. I just want you to see how to gain success. So now we're going to come back over here. And the one thing, I did a video earlier, it's up on my YouTube. But the one thing I want to point out, I'm going to come over here to daily and I'm going to spread this out a little bit. Okay. So here's our excess phase peak pattern, our flagging. You can see it right up here. We're rolling down, and I'm gonna draw something for you. Okay. Because as I'm studying the markets, I'm gaining some better understanding of this crazy move here. News driven, but I talked about how this would resolve, how we may resolve across into some consolidation channel right around here, which is still very valid. But if we get the breakdown here into consolidation, into the breakdown of the ultimate low, which is where I called it 480, there's the ultimate low, come back up, that would complete theoretically this excess phase peak pattern. This move down past A right here, which is the peak, into flagging B, breakdown into consolidation here, C, consolidation D, and breakdown to ultimate low E. I can look at this chart and I can tell you that it has every component needed for this to be the ultimate low. And if this is the case, then we've already set the ultimate low of this current pattern. This pattern here has already potentially played out. And that means that we would be looking for a recovery mode back to the upside, potentially, and I'm going to draw it again for you, potentially moving up and setting some new excess phase peak pattern, moving down into consolidation and maybe lower. So understand that the next move for this market is either to roll up, set a new excess phase peak pattern right here, up, over, flagging, and breakdown, or just to roll up all the way up and out. Okay, so this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. As I'm studying this and thinking about it and going, "Oh, what's going on? What's going on? How is this really going to play out?" I really think that we've got to watch for consolidation here between the 550 area and 575 area. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is more than likely already completed the ultimate low very quickly, very sharp rebound. And, there's a pretty good chance that unless we get some big breakaway news, that we're going to see kind of a rally moving back up out of here. Now, is this guaranteed? No. Is there a lot of indecision ahead of us? Possibly. We need to see how things react in between this consolidation range here and here. Okay. But again, it looks very solid as the ultimate low has already been reached at this 480 level, and we're now rallying away from it. We should move into this consolidation phase, and from there, we will be able to determine if we rally upward and out. Now, like I said, Trump could come out 5, 10 days from now and throw tariffs again. So who knows what is likely to happen news-wise. But as far as price patterns, I think we've already hit the bottom. I think this was it. Now, my research says we're going to hit another bottom out here in July, which could be a whole another setup, meaning we could run up to new highs here and roll all the way back down. But ultimately, this does look like an ultimate low. A steep breakdown away from consolidation into an ultimate low. It measures perfectly. Look, I'll show you the measurement so you can see it from basically the high level, which is right over here, to the flag. I'll bring it straight down, flag low, roughly right there. Come down here, drag this into here. There's our consolidation range. And then paste again. And here's our breakdown range. Right down into that below 500. And that's where we're at, the 500 to 480 range. Now there's a bigger range here, which is this one, coming from here down to this low, consolidate, bring from this low down, and you can see it puts us right at that 489 level. So again, we have, by all mechanics, all measured move mechanics, we've already hit the low. Okay, and that's very important because if this is correct, we are now past the ultimate low. We're moving into a rally phase, looking to set either, and I'm going to draw it for you, we're either going to set a new ultimate high pattern up here, but that could also rotate into an ultimate low coming across like this in red. And so there would be the ultimate low, and where we would end up here, guys, is if we rolled out of this, we would move into consolidation, and then we would roll to an ultimate high. So we really need to see how this plays out right over here. But this is very solid for confirming the move back into 550 to 585, 590, and then potentially flagging out into either an excess phase peak or an inverted excess phase peak, which would then move us into an acceleration potentially upward or back downward again. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, if my analysis is correct, we're going to end up back in this downward channel for July, right back over here. So it would mean that we would move up, consolidate, and then break down. Well, actually move up, flag, consolidate, break down over here, and then break down into the low. So anyway, guys, it's really wild how this is setting up, and could be very quick, very volatile, and I want you to pay attention. Now, like I said, if you have any questions about what I do, want to know, more about my algos, come on over here to mint.com, check it out. I mean, traders are loving what I'm doing. My subscribers really, they once you get in here, once you see what it's all about, I think you're going to love it. And until then, like I said, just make smart decisions. Okay, guys, that's it for now. Talk to you later.